One of the ways you can evolve your UX and product design career is by participating in business development and client pursuits. Learning how to sell design and development projects is a fun and rewarding experience, and it can get you out of being just an individual contributor and help you grow into a leader within an agency or consultancy. Hi, I'm Taylor Reagan, a UX and product design leader with 20 years experience in the industry. And during the past 10 years of my career, I've structured and sold over 10 million in design projects. Now, in this video, we're going to walk through a real example from one of my most recent sales pursuits. Now, I'm going to use this to show you how you can make design scope and cost flexible when pitching business to potential clients. So with that, let's get into it. Over the past few weeks, I've connected with a prospective client that has a construction management software application. Now, they've walked me through the current state of their desktop and mobile apps, and we've aligned on the problem space and general approach for what a partnership might look like. They're running into problems with the experience for first-time users. There's definitely a barrier to entry when using the app, and the client wants all customers to have a great experience right off the bat. Now, while they have a small in-house design team, they're struggling to know how to tackle this problem. Their mobile experience is great for their sales and field customers. It's their desktop app that causes major heartburn for their admin customers. I recommended doing an experience map for the current state product so they can establish a baseline of behaviors and clearly understand the real problems that need to be solved. In addition to using the experience map to identify opportunities, I told them their design team would be able to use the map as a way to prioritize efforts in tighter coordination with the technology and business teams. They love the idea of this approach. Now I just had to make a proposal for it. Often in these sales conversations, it comes down to just a few critical slides in your proposal to convince a client that you're the right partner. As I was pulling together this initial proposal, I knew this client would appreciate having flexibility in both scope and cost. How did I know this? Because during our conversation, they said one very telling thing. We don't know what we don't know. Whenever you have a client say this, it's a golden opportunity for you to be the one that helps them discover what they don't know. The only catch is you don't know what they don't know either. So how do you give them an accurate proposal? Let me walk you through how to approach this. All right, one thing you'll learn very quickly is that to really have success in selling UX, you have to make your approach custom and caring. Even if you solve the same problems over and over again, every client you work with is going to have a different culture and different ways of working. And that should really inform the methods and activities that you choose to do. When you do that, it's going to come across to them as custom made. Now, just a quick note before we dive in, whenever you're detailing an approach in a proposal, I highly recommend including 5 critical things: phase, time, activities, deliverables, and outcomes. This gives your client a very clear and crisp understanding of the problem you're solving, how you're solving it, what they're paying you for, and the overall business value you're delivering. So let's stack up what I put together for this particular client. Now, in order to help any client discover what they don't know, you need to spend time partnering with them on what they do know. This can often be a quick and affordable exercise in assessing, sizing, and prioritizing data they currently have to inform how you tackle helping them with discovery. This client specifically told me they've conducted some periodic user research, and in addition to that data, they have insights from tools like Pendo and User Voice. However, they admittedly need help upping their game in regards to research and how they can come up with an enterprise-level experience map that can be periodically refreshed and really serve as a unifying narrative between their design, technology, and business teams. So step 1 really is, let's understand what you have, create an ideal framework for the experience map, and then let's find the gaps. This is where we start to build in flexibility, but without having to specifically call it out quite yet. So stick with me on this, I'll explain. Remember, the catch is I still don't know what the client doesn't know. However, since I've started logically grouping together activities into separate phases,
I'm creating perceived flexibility and leaving myself plenty of space to negotiate with the client on both scope and cost when I get to my estimate slide.
You've got to remember, it's not about selling them anything. That's not your focus. It's about demonstrating that not only are you and your team the talented group of badass experts that's going to light up the darkness for them, but you're also the partner that's going to create the space for them to decide what's best for them.
In this case, it's phase 2 that's the wild card. By having this as a standalone, you can start to explain, hey, maybe we do these research sprints because we have huge gaps in our understanding and user data, or maybe we don't because after phase 1, we're good with the data you've got. So phase 2 is a teaser wild card, but wait for it. Let's look at phase 3. Regardless of whether or not we do a phase 2, phase 3 is definitely a go. This is where we really dig into the partnership and work with the client to produce amazing artifacts. Artifacts that'll make leadership want to throw more money at us for follow-up projects because we've helped them, unify their teams. So for phase 3, I've detailed how we're going to help them create the experience map, help their team up their game by working with them to develop a research plan for getting fresh data for the map, and then showing them how they can use the map to prioritize in unison with their product and technology teams. Now for the money slide.
And a quick disclaimer, all of this is fake dummy numbers. I've changed everything to protect the innocent, so I'm not in violation of non-disclosure agreements.
So by the time I got to my estimate slide, the client was tracking with me, and I was able to open up the conversation to go deeper on what our partnership might look like. One other thing here, while you may have your own way of doing estimate slides for your proposals, I highly recommend grouping overall costs with the roles, hours, allocation, and rate for the delivery team. It makes it super easy for the client to consume. At this point in the conversation, I specifically called out the flexibility of doing a phase 2. The client could clearly see an affordable entry into our partnership during a phase 1. And I told them, hey, if they want to do a first, kind of quick and meaningful preliminary engagement for under $25K, we could totally do that. And coming out of that, we'd have a very targeted scope for a phase 2 and 3, or just a phase 3. They had tons of questions, which is always a good thing when you get to a slide like this, because that means they're engaged and are thinking about how to partner with you. So while I totally want to win a larger 6-figure project with these guys, I'm also completely fine with doing a quick and cheap lead-in project that will still get me a $75K follow-on project and a way to still net a 6-figure total deal with this client.
We just heard back from the client and they want to move forward with the engagement. Now this is great news. However, they want to change the engagement model just a little bit. They want a senior lead from our team to come in and support their team and actually executing the work. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us to come in and teach them how to fish, so to speak. And it's going to really empower their team. I highly recommend whenever you have the opportunity to engage the client in this way, go for it. It's more than just delivering a solution, but you're actually imparting knowledge and expertise. It's something that pays dividends in the future because they're gonna remember you, the value you provided, and they're gonna continue to trust in your expertise. That's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, as well as any questions you have or topics you'd like me to cover. If you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe. It's been awesome connecting, and I'll see you next time.